Well, with that, I'll go ahead and welcome everyone to today's Purdue Women in Ag Team webinar. We try to offer a variety of different programs throughout the year. And just to give everyone a little bit of background on the Purdue Women in Ag Team, we are committed to providing educational opportunities, current resources, and a network of support to position all women for success in the agricultural industry through skill development, confident decision making, and personnel well-being. We're real excited about today's webinar because it kind of follows up on some of the things that we did earlier in April and May with online marketing. So with that, I will turn it over to today's presenter. It's Ariana Torres. She's with Purdue University in the Horticulture and Landscape Management Department and in the Ag Econ Department. And she's going to talk with us about getting started selling on the Hoosier food market. So thank you, Ariana, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for opening this channel for us. So, okay, my name is Ariana. If you have not heard from me, I'm a faculty on campus, and I have a background of being a farmer. Also, I am an ag economist, and I have some degrees in horticulture. So just to give you a background a little bit, I think we all know what COVID meant. And when COVID started, a bunch of us in the College of Ag wanted to try to understand how can we help local food systems. This tool that we put together, it was after a long brainstorming session of saying, okay, what can we do from Purdue side? What can we do? What can we offer to food vendors that it's free and that they can use to avoid any implication that COVID may bring? And we wanted to have these earlier, so our goal was May 1st. But then things start and things were not that smooth because there's a lot of detail. So today I want to talk about Hoosier Food Market. So Hoosier Food Market, it's a collaboration between the Purdue College of Ag and Microsoft. And basically this food market is leveraged through an open food platform or an open source platform that is called Open Food Network. And basically what we did is we tailored that platform to have to help Hoosier businesses have another channel. So we don't think that this platform is going to be the only market channel that you may access if you want to do business and sell your products. We think it's a complement. So let's say you go to the farmer's market and you want to have an online presence. You can just create a profile. But let's say you do want to start selling and understand how your customers are using online channels and how can you sell them online, then you can do that. Let's say you're a farmer's market, or let's say you're a business that aggregates products from other businesses. You can do that as well. So that's why we use this open source network to have a platform that is meant for Indiana. And one of the reasons we did this too is to understand from our side, how do we help future efforts to help local farmers, local vendors to have a healthy business for themselves. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and this is going to be just an introduction on how do you start using this platform. I need to say this platform is for free. And again, the more people use it, the better. So that's something that I need to also disclose. It's called Hoosier Food Market, but it's actually, you can sell pretty much anything on it. It's like any online platform. However, it's targeted to food to kind of fight what COVID created for local food markets. Let me see, okay. Okay, so, I mean, we all know COVID changed a lot of how we purchase foods. One of the things that we also notice is that people are more willing now to buy local foods. So if you are in the local food production, local food retailing, you're gonna see that local foods are more appealing. right now to Americans. But there's also a big opportunity. Veganism has increased, and that increased with COVID because people are seeing buying local produce that tends to be fresher and healthier as an opportunity to improve their health. So there are new market channels that people, let's say a vulnerable population, were not into online purchase. We've seen a big increase of those purchasing, making a lot of purchases online. So I think having an online presence that is free, I think it's an added marketing strategy. And also the health concerns because of delivery and getting into indoor facilities. A lot of people are turning into online purchases. And one of the things that it's very interesting is that when I survey consumers, they don't think that they're going to change this purchasing habits. So in other words, if you were not an online buyer and they start buying online because they want to stay safe, they're more likely to keep buying things online. So I think it's going to open a door into these new market segments that kind of got used to buying online. And that's kind of what that graph says. I mean, online grocery sales set a new 30-day record, and that's in billions of dollars. Even in Indiana, we know that online sales have increased tremendously, and actually online retailers have a hard time keeping up with demand. So I think there's a big opportunity for local businesses to do that. There are things though you need to consider. I mean, what are your market channels? How do you market? What are your products? What are your varieties and the diversity? One of the things that we know, if you're selling online, the more diverse portfolio of products, the better, because you're bringing kind of like a one spot. How do you communicate? An online platform is just a platform. As a matter of fact, an online platform needs more communication. So you probably need a newsletter, or you probably need to get into your social media. And that's something we talked back in April and May. But once you go online, you kind of are set to do a lot of things online. So have an Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter presence. I think you need to address and understand what are your charging methods. A lot of people want to use credit cards, but there's a lot of people right now that are even willing to do cash payments at delivery, or right now, something that is getting very, very much attention is subscription. So thinking about CSA or community supported agriculture. And then last thing that you need to keep in mind when you're using this platform is how are you going to deliver the products that you're going to sell, and how much is that going to cost you? So with that, I have an introduction that we power this online platform through the Open Food Network, that it's an open source in the world. That's a good thing about this, is that it can be used in any part of the world. It's Hoosier Food Market, but if you have customers in Illinois, I don't think that that's going to be a problem to sell, or Ohio, or any other state. So what are we going to cover today? What is Hoosier Food Market? How do you register? How do you set up your shop? How do you enter products? And I'm going to show you what I did for my extension program. How do you connect with other shops? So let's say I want to start I'm selling honey, but I also want to start selling soap. So I can grab any other store online, and we all partner. So they see my products and I see their products. So you kind of like a food hub or a shared delivery. How do you set up order cycles? So one of the good things about this online platform is that you will set what is the last day to put up an order. So let's say I am going to deliver things on Friday at 5 p.m. So I'm going to tell everyone, hey, the next order cycle is until Thursday midnight. So I wake up Friday morning, and then I see all the orders and I deliver on Friday afternoon. So you need to set up an order cycle. I did it for a month, just to give you an example. How do you get reports? And I think that's very critical for you to understand how much sales have you had in the past week or month or in the past order cycle, and how many of those sales were organic, or how many of those sales were for produce or for bakery items, etc. And then I'm going to give you some other links that can take you further. So let's say you are a farmer, but I told you before, this is an online platform that non-farmers can also use. So you are a farmer. In this case, you see the little tractor you set up your delivery, and you have these 3 customers, and you're going to sell directly to, you're going to sell and distribute directly to your customers. But you can also be a food hub or a farmer cooperative or a farmer's market. And you can distribute and manage many farmers, many food vendors, and sell to many customers as well. So this is an example of what it looks like right now. If you go to Hoosier Food Market, this is a current vendor. So the Good Life Family Farm, it's located in Frankfurt. And as you can see here, there are different tabs. So home, shop, about, producers, and contact, and I'm gonna guide you through it. But basically this business, it's closing an order in 4 months because they basically don't do delivery. They are doing delivery whenever they get an order. So they don't have a single order cycle being delivered. So let's say they have different products, and you can enter how many orders you want, and it'll give you a total. And they say here they sell spices, herbs, vegetables, pickles, and servings. This is what it looks like to have a food hub. So let's say Prom Coast Food Collective has different vendors, and all those vendors, they can manage those sales, right? And they will deliver and then charge. So basically, it's very flexible, this website. So how do you start? You first need to register. Like any website, you would go to their link, and we're gonna go through that. You're gonna register your enterprise. You're gonna list your products. You can sell, let's say I sell under the West Lafayette Farmers Market as well. So I can set my business to sell through that as well, just to increase my reach of customers. And then you can connect via enterprise permissions. And I'll show you all of these steps today. So what is Hoosier Food Market? It's just a software that it's for free, that it's targeted for Indiana businesses. And it's gonna give you reports also. It's gonna help you sell, but it's also gonna give you reports of how much are you selling, what are your delivery, what are the products that you're selling. And I think one of the things that it's very interesting for us for Purdue is giving us an opportunity to understand how do we push efforts and how do we get projects that are gonna support local businesses to do local sales. Also helps you manage payments, and then you can filter a lot of things, and I'm gonna show you that. So how can you use Hoosier Food Market? So let's say you only wanna be visible. So let's say I am a local bakery and I just want to have a website. You can use Hoosier Food Market to just be a website that has a profile. So you're gonna be, I just wanna be visible and I wanna have a profile. But if I want to sell products, I can also have a profile because some other business is gonna be picking up my products and managing my orders. I can sell my own, so you need to set up a shop and I'll guide you through it. Or I can also be a food hub. So I can sell my stuff and sell other farmers' stuff. But I'm not gonna cover food hub. That's gonna be for another webinar in the future. So how do you go with this? So you go to Hoosier Food Market and then you register. So basically you want to sign up and you're gonna receive an email to your email address. And then you're gonna get this registration. What do you need? Usually one of the things that I really recommend is having photos. And this is true for any online effort. If you're doing social media, if you're doing Instagram, if you're doing your own website, actually, you can link Hoosier Food Market to your own website. But basically anything that you do online, you have to have good photos. And you need to fill up your information as much as you can. So once you get started, you get this link, you go to their website, And I'm going to guide you through what I did for my program. So my program, it's actually listed right now in Hoosier Food Network. If you go, you'll find me. It's called Heart Business Test. Very important to fill up as much information as possible. Because guess what? If I am a consumer and I want to purchase something and I don't see an address or I don't see a phone number, consumers are very skeptical, online purchasers are very skeptical if there is no information of a real business. So as much information as you can, fill it up as possible. So you're gonna put your name, address, you want to have your contact information, and then you need to tell, here's a very important step. If you are the one that is producing your products, you need to select, yes, I'm a producer, because you are the one producing it and also selling it. Or you may not want to sell it, but you are the producer of that. If you are a food hub or a farmer's market, then you select, no, I'm not a producer, because the reports that you're gonna obtain and the ways that you're gonna define later your type of business are gonna vary. And one of the things that I selected was I'm a producer, and then I would suggest putting a description. If you have a tax ID number, all the information is encrypted. If you want to charge sale taxes, what is your legal business name? And you keep continuing. It is very important to have good photos. So one of the things that you can select a logo, which this is something you do for your social media too, and then a banner. And the final step, believe it or not, is very important, people. This is how you get followers. If you have been into any other of my social media webinars, website, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all of them you input there. And the best way, I have an example here. You need to input, you need to input your username. You know, for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, you need to have the @ and your username. You shouldn't have the website there. Okay, so that's all. You created your entry point to be part of Hoosier Food Network. And this is how you're gonna see. So that's the website there. When you click on profile, that's and then you get an administration. That is the website where you're gonna administer all the things. From now on, if you just created your business, you click on administration, what you're gonna see is the 3 choices that you have. You can have just a profile. In other words, it's always free, but basically, in other words, you're not gonna sell anything. You're just putting your business out there in a map where there are gonna be many businesses in Indiana. You're gonna have your social media, your direction, all your business details that you share, but you're actually not gonna be able to sell. Of course, you can later on modify it. Or you can be a producer shop. And in the producer shop, you're gonna be able to list all the products, charge people, sell, delivery, get reports, etc. So if you plan to sell, I would actually suggest you select the producer shop. Last option is, do you wanna be a hub? And a producer hub, think about a farmer's market. I buy things from many farmers and I sell them. That's also another way. And that's gonna take you to your settings page. This is your settings page. And as you can see, you have different tabs here. So you have your dashboard, your products, your order cycles, what orders you've received, your reports. Enterprises is if you're linked to any other vendor. So if you're linked to a farmer's market, and then you have your customers. So you can have a very transparent supply chain. One of the things that you want to do is you do want to set your profile live. So when you click in here, you're going to have to find where exactly you are. So right now, when I clicked on live profile, because I enter my address, I am located in the Purdue Horticulture building. So 625 Agricultural Mill Drive. And if I go to the website, I see myself here, this middle tractor. And I think this was a couple of weeks ago when I was developing this presentation. But also, you can have here your products. So I'm gonna guide you through that. You can also select your profile details, and this is very important. And then order cycles. Order cycles are important because it's gonna tell you, hey, when am I gonna close an order? So let's say my order cycle, as I told you before, is every Friday. Or if it goes with the farmers market, let's say I'm a business who delivers on farmers market day at the farmers market parking lot or site, then I can set that date for few hours prior to my delivery time. So as many time before, as long as you want that your orders are going to be closed. And this is very common for online businesses is, do you want to set an order cycle that is going to give you time to harvest? Let's say you're a farmer to harvest, or let's say you're a baker to prepare your bakery products. So when you go into settings, so edit profile details, it's gonna get you here. And that's all the information that you ever need and ever want to put there. So of course you can, again, modify your address, your contact information, your social media, things that you did prior, you can modify them because it's a very flexible system. But one of the things I want to encourage you is to have good images, have shipping methods, because consumers want to know how are you going to deliver. You can have payment methods, anything from cash at pickup or cash at delivery to credit cards to PayPal. Those can be in that website. If you're going to charge delivery fees or any enterprise fees, or if you're going to sell products from another vendor, you can also have those enterprise fees there. And then you're coming here and you're saying your name, I'm a producer, and you do want to be visible. Because if you're not visible, you're not going to be in the map. This is my link, and it's going to be Hoosier Food Market. You see my link, my perma link is for business test, and that's on my URL. So yes, be visible when you go. So now I'm going to guide you through how do you add products. And that's a very nice step for your shop. Either you are a producer who's going to sell, or you're a producer who's not going to sell. You do want to display the list of products that you have for your store. So when you click on manage products, it's going to tell you here. So that's the screen. This first screen is the screen that I received because I didn't have any products at the beginning. So you come and click on new product. And one of the things that you need to know is the name of the product, how much, what is the unit that you sell that product for, how many you have or how many you sell. So let's say you sell 1 unit, or you sell by the 2 units. What is the price? And you also can say your stock levels, because one of the things or the good things about Hoosier Food Market is that in your stock, it's like your inventory. And your inventory, you're gonna say, hey, I have 20, I'm gonna have for next week, I'm gonna have for the next order cycle, I'm gonna have 20 bags of apples. So you're gonna have that inventory, and whenever you run out of it, Hoosier Food Market takes it away from the list of products. So you're not gonna oversell something that you didn't have in your inventory, which is great. I also recommend having photos, and I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have good photos. And you're gonna see the difference between a good photo and a bad photo. Go through the website and you're gonna see, I would say, look for what is a good example. And there is here more information. Just so you know, these slides are gonna be available on my website for you to have access to, and the recording. So let's say I selected create a new product. You can here select your supplier, because I only have one business. I only have the choice to say Hort Business Test, which is the name of a business. And you have different units. You may have pounds, kilograms, ounces, but I like to select items because I was gonna sell by the pint of strawberries. So I selected my unit size items, and that gives me the option to put the unit name pint. And what is the product category? Why is it important to select a product category? And it's a requirement actually, because it's a red asterisk. Because when you can get a report of how much fruit you sold, or how many bakery items you sold, or how many vegetables you sold. So these stars tell you, hey, you need to enter this information, but they're gonna be helpful when you want to get a report at the end of the order cycle. And I'm gonna show you how to get those reports. You do wanna enter a product description, and you can create links. So let's say you don't want to sell online, you can create here the link of your online website or your website from your business. So you're gonna sell by 2 pints, and the price is $2.50, and it's on demand. Here you can select the shipping category. Oops. And then I would strongly recommend to choose a photo. I think it helps a lot to have a good quality of photos for consumers to purchase things from you. Oh my God. Okay, so you create it. You can select create and add another, or cancel, right? So what I did is I created probably not the best photo I had, but it's a pint of strawberries. You can see here, you're gonna get all your product list. So you wanna expand. And it was a pint, strawberry. I have 2 pints. I'm gonna sell by the 2 pints, and I'm gonna charge this. Here, if you click here, you can see all the columns that you wanna see. Some people may be using SKU, some people may use a tax category, etc. And there is here more information on how to select. If you want to create another product, you're gonna click here, but you're gonna see all the things. So now you're gonna have, so let's say I have all my products. So I have my 20, I don't know, vegetables and fruits that I'm gonna sell. The next tab on your administration screen is your order cycles. And order cycles are very important, I told you before, because it allows you to understand when do you have to do delivery, or when are you gonna close an order cycle. So you have to prepare the delivery for that. So my business, this is just an example, I selected an order cycle called July orders. So I actually going to close my order cycle. It's opened on July 1st, and it's gonna close on July 31st. And you actually have the exact time. And they're gonna be ready for July 31st at 3 p.m. This is when I'm gonna have either delivery, pickup, or drop off anywhere. And you can select all the products. You're probably gonna see my dog's photo here because I didn't have a photo of a sourdough. But let's imagine you have 20 products there, and you can select what products you expect to sell at the end of that order cycle. You can have order cycle by week, every day if you want. For the year, you decide how do you do business. And that's one of the good things about this website, is very flexible to let you do business the way you want to do businesses. And then you can also add customer instructions. So let's say you have an on-farm sale, you're selling sunflowers and you want everybody to pick them up. You can actually put those instructions when people are ordering, they're gonna see that when they're selecting your products. The next thing is going into your payment methods. So you're gonna, for my case, I decided that I was gonna charge cash. So you go to payment methods in your main screen, and you're gonna have, so I called it cash, and I just have a little description, and it's active. I'm gonna add a tag, and you can actually decide if you're gonna charge a fee. So I decided I was gonna charge a flat rate per delivery or not. But you can also select a credit card. And if you have different providers, so let's say MasterCard, so you select, this is my MasterCard payment. I have a little description, and then you select from the provider a list of providers. PayPal being one of them, credit cards being another one. And I'm trying to understand if a Square is there. I know some businesses have a Square, but that may be an option that also is there. So then you need to log in into that. And then you select that. So when a customer creates an order and decides how to pay, they're gonna see that payment method and they can enter their credit card. If you go to enterprises, you also need to select your shipping methods. So right here, you know that I went through adding my products, selecting my order cycle, selecting my payment methods. And then when I tried to continue, I got this message saying, "Her business does not have shipping methods," because you need to tell your customers how are you going to sell them, right? So you can select, okay, I actually went here and said, I'm going to create a new shipping method. So I said, hey, it's a pickup at a West Lafayette Farmers Market. And then you can add a description. Please collect your order, etc. Is it a delivery? Is it a pickup? You can also charge different fees for that. So let's say pickup or delivery, you want to charge, I don't know, $5 or a percentage, you can do that as well. The next step is connecting you to a farmer's market or a food hub. So when you go into enterprises, you go into enterprises permissions. So let's say I have her business and I can select any business. So my business permits any business in Indiana to sell their products or advertise their products. So you can say, I permit them to do everything, place orders, edit products, or you can just permit them to add an order cycle, to manage my products, edit profile. So you can give rights to any other business in the list of businesses that exist already to do anything. So I may say, hey, I just want to be affiliated. So for example, I selected my enterprise gives permits to everything to Hoosier Food Market test site. So these are 2 test sites that we created to make sure everything worked out. So you create that, and this is how you're gonna get. So her business test, I didn't add a good description here. It's in West Lafayette, Indiana. I sell bakery items. So remember my sourdough dog and fruits. And I have my contact information. So her business is affiliated to Hoosier Food Market test site. So you can shop in my website or my profile, or you can shop at these profile, which is pretty powerful because one of the things that we've seen is that, so let's say I am not able to sell at the farmer's market, but my farmer's market has a shop. I can offer all my products like they are in the farmer's market, and the farmer's market manager is going to receive an email. So they do have to have an account in Hoosier Food Market to manage my sales and my order cycles and my deliveries. So how it looks like. Basically, I'm going to show you how it looks like online. I'm going to open the website to be more clear. But let's say my order cycle, I told you I was going to close it on July 31st, and it's going to be ready at 3 p.m. And I only selected that I was going to sell sourdough. So her business is going to have sourdough, and it's going to sell loaves. You can decide how many you want, and each loaf costs $5. So people can enter their orders, and they can pay, or they can do anything they want. Here is the thing that I told you about reports. I think this is pretty cool because if you're doing online sales, you can have mailing lists, which is very important if you're doing any online marketing. You have addresses, you can have cycle reports, suppliers reports, order cycle management, how many fees you've accumulated, what products you have in inventory, and what products you sold, the taxes that you charged, etc. And there is a whole set of guides at the master website, which is openfoodnetwork.org. I'm going to guide you through the website. So let me stop sharing, and I'm gonna share. Oh, I see a question. Okay, that was Gina. Feel free to type any feel free to type any questions in the chat box.
We did have one question come in.
Okay.
They wanted to know, what does on demand mean if they clicked it?
So if they click it, that means that that's going to be on demand anytime. So there's it kind of overrides the order cycle. So they're going to be able to have that regardless. I'm going to show you, regardless if you're going to close in, it's going to be on inventory almost always, the on demand. So I'm going to go here. This is what I think can you see it? I think so. So this is the Hoosier Food Market. I'm going to show you what it looks like because a PowerPoint doesn't do its fairness. So food from Hoosiers to Hoosiers. And one of the things that you're going to notice is you have different ways. It's more consumer oriented than business oriented, if that makes sense. So stores, if you click on stores and you can select, so these are West Lafayette, near to West Lafayette. I have 3 businesses and they are in the metric system. And her business, it's mine. I have orders open. Wildcat Creek Apiary have order, and the Good Life, you can shop here. They have a website for orders. So, but let's say I'm doing Fort Wayne. There is nobody in Fort Wayne. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go to a map. So stores is gonna tell me where I want to have that search. But here's the map. Actually, there is one in Fort Wayne. I don't know why I didn't read it. But this is a map where Hoosier Food Market businesses are located. And then you can tap any location. And as you can see, this is Wildcat Creek Apiary, and this is what I see, right? They are not selling change shop to Lafayette, Indiana, and they only have pickup. So that's why it is important to fill up all the delivery methods and all the payment methods, because you're gonna see, a customer is gonna see all of that here. And they have a contact. But let's say I wanna buy from Slot Farms. Slot Farms is closed, it's in Monticello, Indiana. Mud Creek Farm, you go to Mud Creek Farm, they have their website, their internet, their email address. Chippy Hill. So Chippy Hill Farms, when I click on it and I'm a customer, their orders are closed. And that's why an order cycle is very important. So that's something that you kind of have to manage. Am I able to have an order cycle that it's daily? That means I need to come in daily to set my order cycle. Or should I do it bi-weekly? Or should I do it weekly? There are a farm that it's a backyard fruit and vegetable garden. They'll be laying hens, join the farm in the spring 2018. They only are their producer and they have the contact information. The other way to find producers is when you go to the producers list. So I told you about the Good Life Family Farm, and they do have a store open. They said their order cycle to closing in 4 months, and they have all their products. What I told you how important it is to have good photos, it's because Hoosier Food Market, it's set up to give a lot of information as long as you enter it. So here you have the category, they sell prepared meals, etc. This is ingredients, instructions, cooking. There's a wealth of information there, which is great. So I can set orders. I can say, okay, how many I want. And then I said, go to my cart. I can get deliveries and pay. They can deliver, they say they deliver every day. So that's something that when you have your shipping method, you have to do. The about is telling their mission. This is a great place to have your mission and vision. And Hoosier Food Market, the Good Life Family Farm, they also have a website. So when I told you, you can just have a profile here, it's Hoosier Food Market can be the window to your website. You don't have to sell through here. You can just have a profile where you say, hey, we're open for business. So as consumers start ordering and start using our website, then they can see you and they can go to your website, or you can sell it through here. It actually, it does not matter. And they only have this farm. So I mentioned to you that I'm going to go through my website administration. So this is my administration. This is your shop front. This is where you set up everything. So let's say you're going to see yourself in the live location. You're going to edit your profiles. So here's a window what I showed you. You do want to check visible, because if you check not visible, you're not going to be open for business. Address, contact, all the social media, all the about. Here is a great place to have your mission and vision. Sorry, that's my dog. That's sourdough. Business details, images. You can add images. Shipping methods are very important, because as you saw, when people are going to come to, let's say, producers, where is this? Batshit Crazy Farm, they're in Valparaiso. I'm going to see their order cycle, the about, but I'm also going to see producers. They don't have anything on the store, but I can see that. So let me go again to Good Life. I can see how are they going to ship things if I have set up that type of shipping method. So you can do delivery, you can do pickup. If you click here, you're going to manage, but I want to go to product to get into the on-demand thing. So remember, when I was doing orders, we're able to see sourdough as one of the products, because here you can edit. I had my fresh strawberries, but I said I don't have anything on hand. So basically I said, when I created and I said the inventory, my inventory is empty. I didn't say I had strawberries. So if I'm going to my product, you can select your product, you can edit your product, and you can edit how to display the price, the on hand. So if you say I have 0 on hand, that means you're not going to sell it. And if you say, are they on demand, meaning that it's going to tell you, hey, people want this, and people are going to be able to order thinking that you have an unlimited inventory. And you can set the availability where they are. The cool thing is, let's say you want to copy sourdough and have sourdough by bulk, right? So right here, I'm saying by the loaf. Let's say you want to do it by bulk. So 50 pounds of sourdough. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can click here and you're going to clone the product. That means that you don't have to create the product from 0. You can just edit how do you want to sell them. And here you want to say, I want to buy, these are the units. I haven't buy metric. And see here, I had on demand clicked, because I was going to be able to sell sourdough regardless if I had or not. So let's say I'm going to get sourdough from other stores. Here's the order cycle. I only have one order cycle, so you can create any order cycle that you want. And I would suggest, think about, do you want to delivery or not? If you want people to come to your farm, that's something that you can decide here, right? If you have an on-farm kind of a stand, you can also use that. But you can create as many order cycles as you want. Since I don't have an order, I don't see the orders, but I'm going to get an invoice number. I'm going to get the email address, and it's going to tell me all the orders I've received. Here is all the reports that I can get, and here are all the enterprises that I have. You can select if you're a producer, or if you're not a non-producer. If you want to do a profile only, so that means that you're just going to have a website embedded into Hoosier Food Market, or you're going to have a shop. So I selected to have a shop, or you're going to be a producer hub. And I'm ready to go. If you see this green light, that means that you're ready to go, because that means that you have products, you have order cycles, you have payment methods and shipping methods. So if you come here to your dashboard, you have fill, shipping, and payment methods. You can have here your inventory settings. So you decide, hey, as long as I put new products, they can be into my storefront, or no, I want to add them to my inventory. So let's say you want to select your inventory that fits automatically into your shop front. So it becomes part of a products that are on demand, as we saw before, or if you want to keep a list of inventory because you don't want to sell them right away. So let's say you're growing plants and you're gonna think that you're gonna have 20 basil potted plants for sale. You can add them into your inventory, and as they're ready, put them into the shop front, or not, or you can just put them all into your shop front right away. I guess one of the things that you need to think about is, as you're selling online, is how can you manage logistics? And that's something that I haven't covered today, but you need to manage, you need to understand, do you have the human capital? Do you have the people to help with the logistics? And how are you gonna do it? We haven't covered that here, but that's very important because that tells your customers what to expect. So if we go here, we released this website. So the producers here, I think it has been 3 days or something like that. And the idea is to have these populated and to say, for example, Caprini Creamery, if it's in green, it means it's not ready. So right now they are only a profile. So if they're not going to have a store, but if I go to their website, I can select orders, etc. If you're in red, that means that you're ready to sell. And you're ready to sell as much as you want, charge the prices that you want, and do the delivering and charging methods that you want. And I guess tools like these are going to be useful as much as consumers come and producers offer. So that's something that we'll be working on, try to understand how do we help this tool to be used by consumers, right? So I don't know if, I think I saw another question somewhere. Gina, stop sharing.
Yep, the other question was, I already have an online store. Can I just list it here for people to find in the search?
This is what Southwest Honey is doing. Southwest Honey is just advertising to be here. So Hoosier Food Market, if I go to the map, where is Southwest Honey? Is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's why I didn't see it. So Southwest Honey is here. They are in the map, but when I go to producers, I can't buy from them. They don't have any product listed. They could list the products, but they're not going to have any availability to sell things because they selected to be a profile only. You can select to be a profile only, and that means that your business is going to be in the map. And what's going to happen is that you have to provide your URL or your website address, and then take me to Southwest Honey. And that's exactly what Hoosier Food Market does. Because it's very flexible, it actually it'll do whatever you tell them to do. So yes, you can be a business that is only advertising and it's only in this map. But if you want to sell, then you're probably going to have to fill up pickup, delivery. You can also put your and I would recommend filling up as much information as you can, because one of the things is that you want to sell as through many channels as possible. So if you have a farm stand, you go to the farmers market, you sell through a retailer, you have an online presence, everything can help. So this is not exclusive from any other marketing or market channel, which is kind of what we wanted to have. We wanted to have something that people can use however they wanted to use. I hope that answered that question.
Yep. So we did have another one come in.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned selling soap. Are other non-food items allowed, like baskets, skincare, art?
Yes, so I'm going to show you something. If you go to products here, so let's say I'm going to add a new product. I'm only going to get her business test because it's the only business that I manage. And let's say I'm going to sell soap per bar. You have bakery, boxes, bulk, dairy, drinks, fruit, herbs, spices, honey, household, meat, fish. You have a lot of, or you just have a category called product. You can actually sell anything. We targeted the name as a food market, and that's something that you will have to understand is, are your customers going to be able to find it? As long as you advertise to them, we're here. This is another channel. But let's say you want household, and then you say soap, and then you have one bar, and then you're going to sell it for $3. How many do you have on hand? 20. Put it on demand, and then you ship in category. You can select your shipping category. Homemade soap, and then create. So when you come to your products, you're gonna see soap bars, and it tells you how many you have. I mean, it tells you your items. You can here select all the columns that you want to see. Categories. So I have 3 different categories, and they're gonna be available on what date. So if I'm gonna come here to my business, so let's go to producers, my business, for sure, business test. You're gonna see this. Okay, so sourdough is also only sourdough available. So you want to changes to one product remain unsafe. So I haven't changed, save changes. Okay, so now that I have saved, you're gonna see it listed in my product. So you can also set reports. So let's say I want to also only see my household products being available. So right now I only have 3. Filter results. I can only see how many household products I have. But if you want to see clear filters, I can see all the products that I have listed there. So there are 3 results viewing 1. So things that you can do is create, you can create as many products as you want. You can use it for any type of product. It is primarily targeted to Hoosier food market or food products, but you can use it for anything. I think farmers markets are also selling all kinds of things. I think this is another channel for that may be similar.
So the question came in, how is this platform being marketed to consumers?
That is something that we're working on. So one of the things that we need to keep in mind, one of the things that was very interesting for us is that, so Purdue is an university. So one of the things that we can do is a news release. So I think a news release came up on Monday, and it has been picked up by NPR. It has been picked up by another local radio station. And what we're trying to do is trying we're going to try to have videos that are educational because we are a university. But we cannot advertise because we can't advertise a site that it's selling things because we are a university. So one of the things that we can do is make it public that this is a resource that exists. But if you have customers and you're using it, you probably are going to be able to advertise yourself that you are in that store. I think one of the things that we've seen is that, again, an online resource, it's as popular as people use it. So we're hoping that as businesses start using it too, they're going to bring their consumers and they're going to create this critical mass. So we're going to try to, we're going to provide educational videos on how to use it from the consumer and the producer, and we're probably going to do some news release again, but that's kind of our plan is. We know that people are constantly looking for online channels to buy things. We also know that COVID doesn't seem to be getting away anytime soon. So I guess time will tell us if this was really a resource that people used.
Okay, so we have another question that goes along with this. Is there a way to kind of promote this along with the Indiana Grown initiative?
We hope so. We hope so because Hoosier Food Market is a market for Hoosier businesses. So I think one way to use the Indiana Grown label is to have that as a description. So when you add a product, you're gonna say, hey, this is Indiana Grown. I think partnering with other efforts statewide that are trying to connect consumers to farmers or to businesses, I think that's gonna be critical for us as well. I also think that there is a lot of work to do on how to support local food systems. And as far as we can do is try to provide a tool and see how can we support businesses. And we're taking any suggestion that comes up. We are a team of about 10 people that are trying to see how do we support local businesses to connect them to local buyers. And this may be a solution, but we don't think it's the only solution. And I think we're gonna try to complement this with any other training that we may have from the extension side. I think there is a big Indiana Grown is an amazing label that it's out there, and we have the same goal that it's to promote Indiana products. So I think these are two complement efforts, and I think it'll be very interesting to have some collaboration there. But also with farmers markets. I think farmers markets can provide an online shop front for those consumers who are not ready to go to the market, or they're not ready to leave their houses. And they can provide, I don't think every farmer is ready to go online. But those who are not ready, I think farmers markets can help. And we've been talking to Plymouth and 2 other farmers markets to see how can we support their vendors who may benefit for an online store, but are not ready to go online themselves. But I think any effort that can help local businesses connect to local buyers, it is important. That's my take on that.
Okay, so another question that came in was that they saw it said always free. Do you see the store side or hub side ever having fees associated with it?
Not from outside. The producer profile only, it's always free the shop site, so when you do that, you see that it goes to the Open Food Network, which is the open source it's not country, it's global. I think they have different countries who are putting together this network. From our side, we see as a free resource that it's going to be available. As when that changes, we're going to make a decision what to do with this. But we don't, from the Purdue side, we're not foreseeing ever to have a charge for this. I understand that food hubs, one of the things that I understand is that food hubs may have some charges to their members. So that's probably where this is going. But we are not managing food hubs. Businesses may have different agreements with vendors. So let's say I'm going to sell Gina's products. I may have an agreement with her to charge her a fee because I'm doing delivery. But that's internal. That's between businesses. Again, this is just a platform to connect. Those connections can happen in many ways.
Okay. And
that was a very good question.
Yep. And the last question that came in was, when I researched Hoosier Food Market in the past, I found out about a $1 million product liability insurance requirement. Is that still required for each producer?
So in the past, how long in the past? So I think this website was available or was released for beta testing for us internally, I think 2 weeks ago. So there is no, if it was before from that probably, so there is a local business called Hoosier Harvest Market. So that may be where that's going, product liability. So because there is a product management and there's a business, because this is a platform that connects, there is no liability in terms of the liability that, or the relationship exists from business to customer directly. If that makes sense.
Yep, and the person that asked it said it was Hoosier Harvest Market, and that was a few years ago, and we've had an educator chime in and say that is a requirement at this point in time.
Yeah, but that's for Hoosier Harvest Market, which is a business, I think, in Indianapolis or in the Indy area.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we've went through all our questions. Thank you, Ariana, for presenting and telling us about this new opportunity for everyone.
Yeah.
We will edit the recording and get it out to everyone as soon as we possibly can. But we appreciate everyone for chiming in and joining us today. And when we send the link out to the recording, we will probably also send a little survey out for everyone to answer so we get an idea about how the program went and if you got any new ideas from it.
Yeah, something that I may want to say is that we just got the green light to develop material and educational tools for consumers and businesses. So you're probably going to check, you can check my website. That's where I'm going to, if you go to horticulture business, this is where I'm going to put all the material that we developed and videos and tutorials. So you probably want to check that out. I'm going to be posting weekly stuff and we're going to be developed. We just got the green light to go ahead. So that's why we're excited about this.
Great. So everyone, hopefully you're having a good day, and we appreciate everyone for joining us, and hopefully the weather's holding out in your area and you're not having the storms that I had in the middle of this.
Oh, wow. And stay healthy, everyone, please.
Yes. Well,
thank you guys for joining in, and thank you for presenting.
Thank you. Have a great day.